When we were first married, I still had about a semester left in college. Like most newlyweds, especially those that are in any type of schooling situation, money was tight. And so every time we would go to the grocery store, we budgeted, and we were very particular about preparing meals and planning meals that would have longevity. Something from Monday night could turn into Tuesday possibly, or we can maneuver it to look like something else throughout the week, and did a great job, and still to this day held on to that mentality, which has been wonderful. But because we were tight for money, we would always have to sacrifice some of those desires that we have. And one of my desires, things that I love, are pineapple. And every time we would go to the store, I would see the pineapple and we would just walk by, and I would sadly dismiss it, knowing that that was a sacrifice that I had to make. Now, anytime my parents would come up to visit, they always made sure that they would take us out for they would take us grocery shopping before they left, which was such a blessing. And my parents, knowing my love for pineapple, would always get us a pineapple. So we would get the pineapple, or we get the groceries, we bring it home, we say goodbye to my parents, and we would put the groceries away, and I'd always put the pineapple up on the refrigerator and tell Robin, hey, let's wait to use this until that special moment. We always had we'd have to have a special moment for it. So day after day, I would walk into the kitchen and I would see the pineapple up there and think to myself, okay, I can't wait to cut into it. I can't wait to cut into it. It's so glorious. Look at it up there. And the next day would come and I would do the same thing. I'd look at it and I'd be excited to cut into it. And finally, after day of doing this, we would have a meal. We'd say, hey, let's cut into the pineapple. So we would cut into the pineapple and we would take a bite, and it was fermented. Unable to eat, so we'd have to throw it away, which was such a huge disappointment because we were missing out on the goodness of pineapple. And the next time my parents would come, they would take us grocery shopping and they would get us a pineapple. And here's the crazy thing, you would think that I would learn, but I would never learn to do this. I would set the pineapple up at the top and I'd say, okay, let's wait. And same routine, day after day, I'd come in and I'd wait, and we'd cut into the pineapple, fermented. I was reading Isaiah this morning, and in Isaiah 29, I think it is, he was talking about, Isaiah was the prophecy about when God comes. And as I was reading, there was a text that was talking about the lame being able to walk, the blind seeing, and it was this joyful moment to saying, hey, one day this is going to be. And as I was reading, the light came on in my head, and I realized we are living the good life. The good news, and Paul talks about this in his letters. He says, look, what the life you guys are living, the prophets only got to talk about and look from afar. You guys get to live it. And I think oftentimes we look at the good news, or we think about God's kingdom, and we get this idea of it being one day in the future. The joy of living in relationship with God is one day in the future. But that is totally wrong. It's theologically wrong, and in fact, the biblical writers, the gospel writers, would tell us, you're missing the point. You've got the pineapple, eat it. Don't set it up on the refrigerator waiting. The pineapple is there for you to enjoy. The good news of God's kingdom is here. That wonderful life that we get to live in is here, and it's now. All the prophecies that they talk about God coming down and walking in our midst, and there being a restoration and there being a peace beyond understanding. You guys, that came when Christ came and went to the cross and was resurrected, and the Holy Spirit came down to us, and so now we get to live it now. We are living the good news. So the question we have to ask ourselves, are we really living it? Or do we have it, like my pineapple, sitting somewhere And we look at it saying, oh boy, I can't wait to get into that. I can't wait to cut that open. I can't wait to experience the good news of Jesus Christ. I can't wait to live in that. If that's our mindset, we're missing out. We have to cut in. We have to engage in the goodness, the wonderful good news, and let it change us. Now, Jesus said, you're going to have troubles. The book of Revelation is all about the church living in that idea that we're experiencing the goodness of the kingdom, but yet we're having trials. And that's why Jesus says, hold on, it's only going to get better. It's going to get better, but hold on, enjoy it. And maybe it just takes a shift of our thinking. That we have to stop thinking that one day when really it's now. And it's going to get better, and we know that Jesus is going to come, and I'm not denying that when he comes and he's going to bring the new heaven and new earth, and at that moment he's going to completely destroy sin once and for all, and we'll live with no tears and no sadness. And yes, it is. We look forward to that day, but right now we have the pineapple. Cut into the pineapple, eat the pineapple, enjoy the pineapple. In essence, eat and partake of the good news. Live it out. Celebrate it. And the great thing is it's not just something that sits on the refrigerator, but it's something we experience every day. So even as we go through these trials, even as we go through this pandemic, even as we go through different situations, we can hold on to, yes, we have peace, we have hope, we have the good news, and it is exciting. And just holding on to that helps us to get through the situations that we face. Knowing that, yeah, everything might be crumbling around us. Not going to deny that. But we get to live experiencing that relationship. Because that's the greatest news. We get to live in the goodness of Jesus Christ with his Holy Spirit here guiding us. It's not just some theological idea that sits afar or sits apart from us, but it's something that has to be in us, consuming us, permeating from us. So, if the good news is good news to you, but you have it up on a refrigerator, today's the day to pull it down, cut it open, and enjoy it. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, pineapple. I've got no good news. Well, here's the good news for you today. There's a fullness of life, an abundance, joy beyond understanding, peace beyond all passes all understanding. There's a life waiting for us as we enter into relationship with our Creator once again because of the cross and the resurrection. So, it's time to stop talking about the good news and start living it and consuming it and letting our life be changed by it. We were never meant to be curmudgeons. But as we consume it, it changes us and fills us with a joy and peace that passes all understanding. So, today, let the good news fill your life. Let the aroma, the hope of it bring you through these moments. And may you consume it like the fresh pineapple it's meant to be.